The New England Patriots just got a ton of good news after their big victory against the Cleveland Browns. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron on the daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. All you got to do, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and what the heck, hit the like button. And what is there not to like? Anyone who watches this channel, we have talked week in and week out. Stefon Diggs is going to find the end zone. Ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. It was beautiful. I might have shed a tear. I don't know. But I will tell you, it was awesome. And all of us who finally believed, we kept saying every single week, and you probably laughed. You're like, Aaron, this is getting old, but we stuck with it. And he scored, and there's many more to come, and plenty of football left for the New England Patriots. So we got to talk about it. We're going to talk about the good, and as well at the end of the episode, and what I said, a ton of good news, a lot of good things out of this game, and there's some things we got to talk about. But all in all, we need to agree on this. In this game, it didn't look good at first. It looked a little sketchy, and I was a little nervous. But then the wheels got to turning, and the Patriots never looked back. They took the lead, and they never looked back. And that was important. They finished the game, and they finished it strong with their foot on the gas. That is how great teams finish games. So I love to see that. We're going to jump right into the box score, talk about a couple things. On the positive side, on the good side that we saw, first and foremost, I want to jump into just Travion Henderson. And the reason being, a lot of people saying, not a lot, but there's a good contingency of people that have said, I don't know if he was worth his pick. He was a waste. Again, going down that slippery slope of negativity, which I'm just not a fan of, especially with a guy who has literally only played in 8 NFL games. Mike Vrabel said it, as well as Josh McDaniels. Listen, he's going to get his opportunities. He's going to get it. Today he did. He had some great explosive plays that were fun to watch, and you can tell he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. We will talk about his fumble on the back half of the episode. We're going to still stay positive, but he had a lot of good things in this game. Drake May being Drake May. MVP chance raining down on him. He deserves them. Three tutties. We got Hunter Henry, Stefon Diggs, and then your boy Kayshon Boutte. Bring that booty call. And I feel like Kayshon Boutte, it literally is always just, I'm gonna take the top off the defense, a little two-step move in the route, in over the top tutty. Loved it. It's almost like it's becoming a tradition now. Like it has to, every game we have to have that, or it wasn't really a game. But beautiful to see. Drake May just playing out of his mind as usual, dropping it into the absolute basket. We loved it. Mac Hollins, in going back to what we talked about later this week with Mac Hollins, Brian Thomas Jr., again, the Jags. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. I offended a lot of people, apparently. At least 2 people in my comments were like, I saw that said, this man cannot say Jaguar. Jaguars. I think that's what I was saying, Jaguars. And people are like, Jaguar. I don't know. Maybe it's my Midwestern accent. I don't know what it is, but I apologize if you got so offended by that. Not really. I'm not going to apologize for that, but maybe I'll work on my pronunciation. Again, I teach PE. I don't teach, English or anything like that. Is what it is. But Mac Hollins came in, did what he needed to do. A lot of these wide receivers did, but again, showing, I don't think we need to run out and go get another wide receiver like a Brian Thomas. Sure, I would concede. If we could get him for a good deal, absolutely take him. I know there's a lot of people who disagreed with me, a lot of people who agreed with me, but I really like where we're at with our wide receiver room. I think they're doing great. I have no arguments. Sure, if you think it's a huge added value and you can get them for a good deal, I guess it's not the end of the world. But again, I think this wide receiver room is clicking. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. I think the bigger worries, again, is depth at cornerback and depth at other positions, include, you could say linebacker, safety, whatever it might be. But I don't think wide receiver like last year, that was a huge issue. This year, a lot of things have been figured out, and it's looking great. And it helps to have Drake May, of course. As we continue, defensive side of the ball, Robert Spillane, an absolute menace, an absolute headache for the Cleveland Browns. If he wasn't getting an interception or wasn't getting the sack of the game for the Patriots. It was literally being in the right place at the right time, literally filling his hole, and it was something to behold. It was great. I was hyped up. That's the reason you bring guys in like that. He did well for the Raiders. The Patriots saw that, snagged him, and said, you are going to be one of the captains of this team, and he has proven that he is worthy of that spot. You love to see it. Robert Spillane going off. As well defensively, Hawkins with the other interception. And then down the list, there's a lot of different guys. Marcus Jones with 2 beautiful pass breakups. Gonzo as well. A lot of great things defensively. And we knew going into this game that the Browns weren't some dominant offensive team. We knew that was more on the defensive side, which obviously Myles Garrett with a historic game today with his 5 sacks. But when it comes down to it, the Patriots, they were steady. They got the job done. And we look specifically at the other stats. First downs, 23 for the Patriots, which was huge. As well, total yards, 422 on this very stout Browns defense. As well, 213 given up to the Browns, which was solid. Holding them rushing yards under 70 with 68. And then we look at turnovers, obviously not ideal. Possession, always not a huge factor, but the Patriots controlled the ball a ton. And a couple things I want to point out, because we went over the good, a lot of good. And comment below, what was one of the best things you saw in the game, or thing that hyped you up the most? I got to say it was Stefon Diggs for me, hands down Stefon Diggs scoring. But comment below, tell me what was one of your favorite parts, or your favorite part, the part that got you to jump off the couch and probably scream and have your wife, significant other, whoever the heck it is, maybe a kid, I don't know, your dog bark at you, but someone say, hey, quiet down. What was that moment for you in this game? Comment below. Now, the other side, so that's all the great stuff. Got a lot of players performing like we know they can, and you love to see it. Younger guys performing like we know they can. Drake May being MVP caliber Drake May. Robert Spillane being Robert Spillane, the captain, my captain of the defense, playing great. A ton of great things we can look at offensively and defensively. But the other areas we need to talk about, specifically the sacks given up, that was tough. But we also need to understand Myles Garrett is an absolute menace. The man, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question about it. He is one of the best, if not the best, to ever do it. And he continues to be a massive headache for teams. The line did what they could. Will Campbell did what he could. And so the nice thing is, moving forward, you don't have to go against Myles Garrett again this season. So that's a bonus. That's a bonus. So that's one thing. Am I worried about it? No. It's all right. They figured it out. They fought through it, and when it came down to it, the better team prevailed. Let's start over from the top. Ladies and gentlemen, do I have an offer for you? I have just teamed up with DraftKings to offer you this great promotion. Here you go. New customers, bet $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. It's simple. $5, not a ton of money. Turn that into $300. All you got to do, sign up using promo code STP, download the DraftKings app, and don't miss out. It's as simple as that. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or read the description below. That's what it comes down to. A lot of times in this game, the Patriots could have got down on themselves, whether it was the interception, when it was any of those sacks, whether it was literally only scoring 3 field goals in the first half. They did not. They kept on enduring, fought through it, and moved on and won this game handily. And I might ask, if you look in the comments from the game or from my video yesterday, a lot of people were very close to the score. It was actually kind of weird, kind of crazy. It makes you think you're in a simulation or something. I don't know. Don't think we are, but I'm just saying it was weird. It is weird. Say it how it is. So the other thing besides the sacks, the two other things that I really want to talk about are the red zone. And so these analytics are based on touchdowns that they got in the red zone. So we look at the play-by-play. We jump down here, and the first half was rough. The first 2 times we got into the red zone, we got field goals. So that was 2 of the ones that we didn't convert on. One was a fumble by TreVeyon Henderson, we'll talk about in a second, and the other one was us kneeling down at the end of the game, which is what it is. I respect Mike Vrabel. Listen, they're waving the white flag over there, and the Browns, they're done. They're done. They don't want any more. But the Patriots absolutely opened up a can third quarter with just touchdown. You have Hunter Henry, you have Stephon Diggs, and then you had the Kayshon Boutte. It was beautiful, a beautiful trifecta. And then they were about to go punch in another one, and that's where we had the fumble. But the reason I bring up the red zone stuff is, sure, it's great that they went in there and they got field goals, but I would like to see that again, they don't fumble. I think they get a touchdown right there, so you make it 3 of 6. But I feel like you need to have a much higher success rate in the red zone. So honestly, take that out. Take out the kneel. It goes to 2 and 5, 2 touchdowns out of 5 times in the red zone. Take away the fumble, that's 3, and then you end up scoring on every single one. So that's nice. And again, you have to do what you got to do to win the game. That's understood. But I think it's buttoning up certain things where, hey, we need to capitalize as best we can. Yes, the Browns defense is a stout defense. It's great. When you look at it statistically, you look at total defense, defense against the pass, against the rush, they're solid. But again, as you get deeper into this schedule and as you get into the playoffs, you got to convert in the red zone. You got to get touchdowns. You got to get touchdowns. So that's one big thing. Again, I'm not saying it's a huge concern. This was a dominant win. The Patriots continued to move and played great football, even though they did have mistakes. Things happened. They endured through it. As I said earlier, the TreVeyon Henderson fumble was so frustrating because he was having such a great game, and he was probably going to score a touchdown on that drive, I'm assuming. If not him, then Stevenson or whoever. Maybe they give it to my boy Terrell Jennings. You never know. And it was just frustrating. And I think a lot of people are going to jump to, well, this is an issue. We've had fumbling as an issue. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, it almost was like just a perfect case scenario where the person who got their, I believe it was their head. I only saw it live. I didn't go back and watch it. But it almost just seemed like a perfect scenario where they popped it out, and it was just like 9 out of 10 times it's going to be a fumble based on how good that execution was by the defender. So it wasn't great, but again, they figured it out. They moved forward. They won the game. I forgot. I didn't even say anything about the safety. The safety was awesome. Immediately when he went to throw it, I actually said as he's going to throw it, that's going to be a safety. Sure enough, they waited on the flag. They talked about. They threw the flag immediately. He was still within the tackles. There was no receiver to be seen. It was just rough. And honestly, this very well might be, if you look at the box score too, Dylan Gabriel. This might be. I don't know. They might still go with him, but I'm sure there's people that want to see Shedeur Sanders, and we'll see moving forward. But who knows? So again. In this game, a ton of great things that we can talk about, anywhere from Drake May to Robert Spillane to TreVeyon Henderson breaking out everything but the fumble and having a great rushing attack there. The defense literally holding them to 200? I said 200 some yards. Beautiful. A lot of great things, a lot of optimism continually moving forward, especially against a good defensive team. And then obviously some things to button up. But again, dominant win is a dominant win. So comment below. Tell me, again, favorite thing of the game. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Big win for the Patriots, 6-2. Living life, baby. Living life. Comment below. Hit the sub button on the way out. We'll talk later. Peace.